They're talking about the SAVE Act, like all of a sudden nobody of color would be able to vote, which is a complete lie, especially as we played last week. CNN polled themselves. 70 to 80% of this country is for voter ID. By the way, the Save Act passed the House today. It's going over the Senate, where Chuck Schumer, who's fighting for his life right now politically, says, "Oh, it's dead on arrival." Well, the problem is Chuck Schumer's calling it Crow 2.0, and as Joe pointed out earlier, that's just to get an emotional response. It's not, and when you have 70% of Americans agreeing on one policy or topic from both sides of the aisle, also Black and Hispanic approval, very high as well in the 60s and 70s, you're losing this argument against the people of this nation. And I talked about it last week. Why is voting such a big deal? It needs to be one of the most protected rights we have, because that's how we decide what goes on in the future.
This says you've got to prove that you're U.S. citizens.
And remember, the SAVE Act is just saying you're going to go up, you're going to prove when you register to vote that you're an American citizen. And then when you go to vote, you're going to bring your ID. That's it. And women aren't that stupid, which is why the SAVE Act has an approval of 60 to 70% in this country in modern day history. As I said before, I talked about some of the polls from CNN. This is from February, so this is a recent poll. 83% of Americans require a photo ID to vote. 71% of Democrats agree with the measure. 76% of Black voters and 82% of Latino voters want these integrity measures as well. So for Jamie Raskin and Chuck Schumer to cry women won't be able to vote and it's Jim Crow 2.0, what they're saying to the majority of people is you're too stupid to know what's good for you and we know better. Despite the fact that the Democrats have cried many a times about securing our elections and making sure that our elections were secure. And now that we're trying to do it, they all of a sudden it's not a good thing.